Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM20 Career Mode, episode 148. We now have the pink jersey, and we begin the defense of that. It's only stage 11. It's only a punchy stage, but we still have some defensive game planning and things to take care of. Right now, the breakaway has 15 riders in it, but it's starting to fall apart. We've already brought back a few of those at the top of that last climb, so it's down to a much smaller group. We are not pushing tempo at all, but others in the field are trying to make something happen today, and I'm all for that because Rodriguez has a +5. His best support man in Johnson has a +3. Moreau, Millar, both +2s, so we're in good shape for a challenge today, and it really does not look like that hard of a stage. So I would be perfectly happy with a small group at the finish because I don't think we'll have any trouble being a part of that. So 112 in the Peloton, and thanks to the efforts of other teams, it's already a shrinking Peloton, and even Gazzoli and Jorgensen have made it this far. We've got a category 3 that we're on right now, 4 climbs in all for the day. You've got that little uphill halfway down the finishing climb, but I'm not too worried about that one. Gap is opening back up. It was out to about 5 minutes now in that front group. The top rider was at 11 minutes down, Rubio in 12th or 13th place. So we'll keep an eye on that, make sure that gap does not get too large. But you can see that group is shrinking, and actually our group is shrinking. We're down to about 80 in the Peloton, and it's about to get smaller. So Jorgensen's out, Gazzoli's out. I'm okay with that because those are our weak links, and a smaller Peloton is a good thing.
They obviously don't have anybody
so we're just pushing the 77 here, and that's not giving us too much trouble, and everybody's going to get over the top just fine. Moreau is a bit tired, but outside of him, we're doing fine.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
But there's the top, so we're okay. These guys will get back on. All right, 95 kilometers to go. We do need to get water again, and that might be a task for one of these guys back here, like, say, Millar or Killen. We'll go with David Killen while the recovery happens. So 55 in the group. I'm loving how small this Peloton is already, just halfway through this stage. Ooh, Killen, don't get dropped. Don't get dropped. I hate when that happens. And he got dropped. You gotta be kidding me. I absolutely despise how you go to get water, and then one rider just sits up, and that's
Holy
that.
Cow, that was a fall.
We're looking at somebody with a key jersey here. Fernandez, Portuguese national champion, who was the one that caused that drop. And I don't see anybody else in this group too interested, and Killen's not too interested either, in trying to get back up there. All of a sudden we have 46, but losing a key rider like that is not really what I was hoping to have happen. We do need to reassess and get somebody on Rodriguez here, so probably Talipov, and then we'll get Moreau on Johnson instead of Millar, and then that'll take care of that.
Symbolic kilometer as we go through the halfway
sure
stage of the race.
Well, I guess the pace, we're at an 82, but why on a downhill he was still not able to recover and get to the front? It's beyond me. Killen, guess that's it. He's gone. They're a minute 20 back, so we do lose a rider out of that. Millar, no, let's go with Moreau. Go ahead and get water. You should be able to do it. It's slightly downhill, fairly flat, and you should not be getting dropped like your teammate did moments ago on the descent. Okay, there you go. He's got it. He's returning to the front. CCC struggling at the back of the group, and then they've got a couple of riders up near the front. I don't see why there wouldn't be all the contenders here in this group. 46 just chasing those front riders, and it's relatively small gaps. You got 5 left: Landa, Ciccone, Bardet, Evenepoel, and Zeta. Obviously a very strong group, but not including Rubio, so it actually put them even further down the order. We don't want to climb too hard through here, but we also don't want to drop. Oops, we don't want to drop back. You know what, Killen, why don't you try to go forward here? It's a good opportunity for you to maybe get back into the group. You're 74 mountains, so use your mountain rating. Mostly just make sure these guys aren't slipping back, saving their strength for the next climb, where I'm interested in trying to do something, trying to make something happen near the top of that one and thin the group and maybe catch out one or two GC guys. Moreau's been dropped. How's Killen doing? Killen going his own pace, passing up a lot of riders. Hickey, Fernandez were with him. They've left him in the dust. There's Denny Ginn. And Killen, if he can make it back up to those guys anyway, he'll be in okay shape. Let's go back to Auto here shortly.
Attack by Bardet.
There you go. There's Moreau. All right, so we're down to 38 and down to that front group of 5 who have a 2.5 minute gap. So we're not worried about those guys gaining a small amount of time today or taking the bonuses in the stage. I'm just focused on the group here. And right now we are conserving, though Talipov struggling, and he might be going backwards soon. Down to 33. He might make it over the top. There's the top right there. Really nice if he can get there. He's a 77 today. You'd think he can handle the rigors of this climb, but I think he's about to, yep, off the back. Killen, meanwhile, never could make up that gap. So 30 chasing 5. Got 3 riders here. At this point, thinking more about riding defensively than offensively, but Rodriguez is in great shape, and if he's struggling like that with an 86 resistance, 84 stamina, 86 mountain, you figure there's going to be a lot of fatigue in this group. And riders are getting dropped on this descent, so that's got to be fatigue related. So this is actually got some potential to do something. All right, Millar, it's your turn. All right, protection. Okay, let's also make sure that we're staying put. And now it's Hoyes, Lopez, Roglic doing the work. It's weird to see that it's Roglic doing the work, but okay. Mader also at the front. There's Barrow at the front. Pogačar coming forward to take turns for UAE. They're riding for McNulty. 3 minutes to those front riders, so they've opened up a slight gap. But the tempo right now is pretty high, and that fatigue side, people are not going to recover. You can see the heart rate. So they're not going to be recovering, which means they're already feeling it, and we're not even on the climb, though we are over 3%. So it is using that rating, even though it's low. Millar, we're going to have to gel up early on this climb. This is going to come down to a very small group, I think. But again, Rodriguez has a real chance at something because we've ridden defensively, and he's got a +5. Not many can match that, and this group has got to be feeling it. But amazingly, we have not come back at that front group. Talipov in a chasing 3, but they're 2 minutes behind. We're back up to 30, so somehow the pace lifted, which it certainly didn't look like it, but the heart rate did come down somewhat. Okay, Millar is nearly done. We're going to have to use Johnson soon. We're also about to hit the midpoint of the climb. It's going to ease off, have some undulation for a little bit, and then ramp up again near the end. It's a bit of an acceleration from CCC. Gap's up to 4 minutes, and yet we're pushing. Surprised those front 5 are riding that fast and doing that well, but with a little acceleration, I could see that gap coming down pretty quick. Speaking of, there's 25 seconds pulled back just like that. We did have a little recovery with that slight downhill. Johnson, don't get dropped, Johnson. Get on his wheel, because Millar's about to fade. You got to take over. Go ahead and gel up, Johnson. Millar's still there, still providing some support. Johnson, once he's up in position, though, we will use him to take over the protection. And actually, maybe this is a good time to bring Johnson to the front. Well, get him in front of Rodriguez at least. Millar, just try to hang on as best you can. Still a 3-minute gap. That little uphill section, I want to use Johnson to put that pressure on and then try to attack with Rodriguez, who's in perfect full condition where guaranteed others are not going to be like that. All right. It's time. It's time. Here we go. We're going to follow Johnson and Johnson. 75 hill, 80 mountain. So we want to go about an 87. Sounds good. Rodriguez following him out. 4K to go to the top of this thing, and it's going to get really steep from here.
Barday's off. The riders are going through a very tough
That gel
portion
coming
with percentages
soon because we're going to have to try to attack this. 2.7K, and here we go. Johnson. Set up. Millar, let's also protect you. It was down to 26. We only dropped 4 riders, but with this attack, Rodriguez is already solo. Okay, we've got the red bar. It's been covered off somehow. Yermakov has us. Okay, we don't want all of our energy gone. We're down to 7. Still attacking a little bit longer, and now we even this out. We're not getting support. We're down to 1K from the top, but with 7 riders, 16 riders, make that. You know what? Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Attack again. Attack again. We go solo. We're going to go 99 because we're about to hit the top. And not everybody's going to make that with us. We've got plenty of energy for the finish. We're going to take the risky descent. We got a 78 downhill right now. Can we open up a gap? 15 riders in the group. And we've got that little uphill coming, and those guys are not going to recover like this. 23K to go. Go ahead and grab some water. No, 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 no. Okay, don't grab some water. He's not clear. Just keep pushing. It's 20 kilometers. It's going to happen fast. Numbers are increasing. Attack, 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 attack. Solo, solo. We've gained a gap. We have a gap. Oh, come on. 8 seconds. 9 seconds. 11 seconds. Coming up on the little uphill swing. This is where we can really open that up. Ooh, bad turn there. Down to 9 seconds. We're still on attack. Very small gap. But that didn't hurt us because it was all downhill. Here's where we're going to try to gain. 13 seconds. Use that red bar. Keep going, keep going. Keep attacking, keep attacking. 17 seconds. 99. Come on, come on, Rodriguez. 20 seconds. We have a chance for a 4-second time bonus and maybe a small gain. 13 seconds. They are chasing. Group of 12. And it's still 14 seconds as we go over the top. And we've got plenty of energy to finish this thing off. 11 kilometers to go.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
16 seconds.
Wow,
Come on, Rodriguez.
one attack that's going to leave a good few in its wake.
15 seconds. Come on, you've got a good downhill rating. I don't know why we can't at 99. And why behind us they're doing just fine and not feeling it. The 2 left at the front who are going to win the stage. It's Bardet and Zeta. Come on, Zeta. We can get that stage win. Now, our red bar is mostly recovered. We're down to 6K. We're going to have a little flat section. It's going to be hard to hold them off on that flat section. But we've opened it to 23 seconds. 23 seconds. 4.5K. We're about to get flat. It's going to be difficult to hang on for those last 4 kilometers. But with 24 seconds, 25 seconds, we've got to try. We've got to try this. 3K to go on the flat. Energy running thin. 26 seconds, though. 26 seconds. 2K to go. And the energy is hanging on. The red bar is going to fade. We're not going to be able to sprint this out. They're going to close that gap a little bit. But 28 seconds and final kilometers. Now 31 seconds. Sprint it out. Ooh, the line's further ahead. That's a sprint point. That's a sprint point. Bardet takes the win. Zeta takes second. But we are going to hang on to the gap. Yes, 22 seconds. 22 seconds. We've crossed the line. We got third place. We pick up an extra 4 seconds plus we get the sprint point, so we got an extra second there. So we pick up 5 seconds plus whatever that small gap was, be it 25 seconds or so. We pick up maybe close to half a minute over all of our rivals. A single rider was dropped before the finish. There was 11 still there. You got to figure most, if not all, of the rivals were among that. All right, so we pick up 20 seconds. They got a little closer with the sprint at the end, a little more energy than what we had as we were riding solo for that final 3.5K on the flat. Nobody lost time, so even though Bernal was the one who was dropped, they gave Bernal same time. But either way, we gained 20 seconds, plus the 4-second time bonus, plus the 1-second time bonus, 1K from the finish. So we pick up 5 additional seconds. So 25 seconds gained is 25 seconds. So Hamilton now at 1:36, McNulty 1:54, Yermakov at 2:55, Carapaz, and you can see just how widespread that gap is getting behind us. I would figure most of the challengers are probably in that group. Hamilton just hanging on at the back end, but time gained. Stage 12 was a sprint. Stage 13 was a sprint. Talipov out of the race, fractured hand in that stage. So that's bad news. Double bad news, but we knew this was coming, so it was always expected, is that the fitness peak has ended for Rodriguez, so his days of excellent race day condition are behind him. He leads the race. Hopefully he can get some bonuses here and there. He will not have any bonuses for stage 14, which finishes with an uphill 8.5 kilometer climb. Stage 15, punchy, fairly straightforward. As long as he doesn't have a bad race day condition, both of those stages, it's possible he won't win. It's possible he could lose time, but in both cases, it should be significant, and I would expect that as long as he has the okay race day condition on 15, that'll be fine. That'll be easy. 16 is going to be a tough stage. That's one we need to watch out for. 17, we have recon bonus, so we'll have a +1 that day, but that's not a serious day. 18 is, but we won't have a bonus on that one, so ouch. 16 and 18 we got to watch out for. 19 we will have a bonus, and that's a big day. That's a big final climb. So is 20, and we have the bonus on both of those days. 21, the time trial, of course, favors us. So as long as we can hang on, if we're still anywhere near the front, as long as the guy breathing down our neck is not the strong time trialist of Carapaz, we should be well off. All right, so let's go ahead and get to that next stage. As the holders of the pink jersey, it's our job to defend this thing. So as we head into this final climb on stage 14, we're going to go with the Ineos type tactic of establishing a sprint train at the front, but we're not going to try to push it. I have no interest in actually blowing up the field. I just have interest in controlling and responding to attacks and making sure that we don't get left behind. Rodriguez, now without the fitness peak, already immediately suffering as he's got a -1 race day condition. Fortunately, though, no impact from that, so he's basically a base 0, as it's only affecting a couple attributes that really aren't important. So Gazzoli pushing things right now, but just gently. 10K to go, almost to the base of the climb. Breakaway had no chance today. They never even had more than a minute's lead. That's Umberto Zeta at the front, desperately trying to hang on, but he'll be brought back in pretty soon. And the field never made it easy, which is why there's already a lot of fatigue in the group. Also why it's not going to be that hard for Gazzoli to keep us at the front, even though it's Gazzoli and he's on a -3 and very, very weak, and yet we're still comfortably at the front as we begin the final climb. In fact, we're already a full kilometer into this thing, and Gazzoli still leading us out. All right, now we move on to Jorgensen, who's obviously better and on a +2 race day condition, but no dice. I mean, he is not a threat. Rodriguez, if we go fast enough, we should be at the front. I might have wanted to put him maybe in the middle, but I'm trying to offer as much protection as I can. It's a little bit risky to have him off the back like that. Now 5K to go, and we're still controlling the front of this thing. Okay, Jorgensen is out of red bar, but if he goes 99, we can hang on just a little bit longer And watch out for Vanderpool, who's coming up through. There's Yermakov trying to go for the attacks, and now we immediately respond with Moreau pushing tempo. Let's get Killen going, and Jorgensen will try to latch onto the back, and here we go. Moreau, he is punchy. He is responding to the attack of Trentadou, Hagita, and Yermakov. Hagita's 9th. Trentadou is only 14th. Okay, Johnson is losing it a little bit. Good thing I caught that. Johnson is going to slip out of this thing, and we're going to let Millar through. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Moreau is still chasing. However, Killen is struggling to keep pace, but Millar isn't having to chase as hard because Killen's actually in that gap. And Killen is still there. He's still doing okay and catching up. But those front two have gone away. Those front two did get off the front. Moreau is out of energy, so now Killen, use the last of what you have, and we go on to Millar, and it's just 2K from the top. So we really need to start pushing Rodriguez gel up, and let's make up some ground on these guys here at the end of this one. So Millar putting the effort in. He's pulling for Rodriguez. It's 3 riders that have escaped off the front and really running us low on energy, but we are going to lose a small amount of time today. Rodriguez sprinted out. He's with this group comfortably. And we're coming back at one of the guys. It's very close, so this is not going to be a big gap. That's McNulty for the stage. Hagita, Paulus, Sivikov, Carapaz were right there in this group. We all should be roughly same time. I don't see why we would have different times when there's no gaps at all there at the front. Not a great performance, but you can see Rodriguez really was down on time. It was close. McNulty, we're going to lose a little bit of time to him, but that should be it. Should be. We'll see. This game has been cruel to us in the past. There's literally no gaps in there. That was all a group coming in together. Previous stages, groups got same time, so we'll see. We'll see. What do we have? What do we have? Small gain for McNulty, but that should be it. About 30 seconds. 14 to Hagita. Paulus and Sivikov gain a small, but yes, there you go, same time. So they gave a couple gaps, surprisingly, but there are some riders that did miss out. Not a big loss. McNulty moves into second place, but he's a minute 12, and he is not a time trialist. So again, we can afford to lose a little bit of time. It's going to be a struggle on a couple of these stages. Hamilton still at a minute and a half, so no loss. Yermakov 2:55, so no loss. I'm not too worried about Paulus either, who is a terrible time trialist. So none of these guys, Hamilton is okay, but none of those top 5 are a threat. Carapaz is, not Carapaz, he's a 69. Bernal is not. Hagita is not. Uman is not. Sivikov, there's your first threat all the way down to 10th, and he's 740 down. So all we have to do is make sure we stay in striking distance. We could even lose the jersey, put the pressure on another team. As long as we're still within about 40 seconds, we will win this race. So very small amount of time lost, not our greatest stage, but again, the race day condition part was a bit of a factor today, along with the sport riders, and no Talipov too. So it's going to make things a little harder. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.